do is I send it live on YouTube, and now I'm going to YouTube. We are now live on YouTube. It's crazy. I was sitting here, and one of the things to watch on my YouTube was a debate between me and Chazak. It just appeared out of nowhere.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It was just right here, and it recommended things to watch. The Paul debate, Chazak Tamal versus the Fire. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? This shit.
That's why I told you. Like, everything is recommendations off stuff you've done. Like, I swear this stuff is connected.
Right.
Was that a good debate?
Yeah, well, it was a good debate.
Good.
A classic debate too. Very
Which,
great debate as
what was the
well.
topic?
Paul, remember you said that you wouldn't. You said that if anybody that liked Paul, you wouldn't fucking you wouldn't talking to him or
Well,
dealing with him. You remember
you know, at
that?
first,
You thought
but
people.
then I learned that Saul was Paul, and I figured that's a representation of all of us, kind of, because we come from a place where we didn't know the information, and then suddenly we did. And the more we learned about it, the more we wanted to grow ourselves and head in the right direction. So I can see his story being in each and every one of us. As we grow closer to the Most High, we kind of go from Saul to Paul. So it's a good metaphor
So
for all.
what about the spiritual gifts verse? Did that influence you any? By him saying that any spiritual gift it comes from the same spirit, being that you all have the same spirit. Um, was that any type of influence onto the accepting of Paul?
Well, think about it. We all are universally connected because everything that I do to you, the Most High tells me, well, Janelle, you just did that to such and such. So now you must have it done to you to feel what you put that person through so you can learn the same lesson they did. So, and that's for each and every one of us. The Most High, like people think of karma and dharma as a bad thing, but to me, karma is just the Most High teaching you a lesson that you needed to learn to grow. So, like I said, if I wronged someone, the Most High is going to allow me to get wronged in the same way because the Most High loves me and the Most High is trying to grow my spirit. So the Most High wants me to experience that so that I can look back at the way that I treated someone else and say, "Hey, this is what you did. Now you got to feel it." And it's not hate. It's not the Most High hating on us. That's for sure. It's the Most High just saying, "Hey, this is that experience. Now you must feel it to grow." And that's for each and every one of us. So
Mhm.
I don't think that's wrong of the Most High to allow that to happen to us because we all have to learn how to love ourselves and others better because that's what life's about. It's really about love, love of self and others, and learning how to be a better version of ourselves. So that's all. But it works in a similar way that if you do good unto others, that's what you receive. That's the lesson you receive back. So, it teaches you, the Most High is teaching us when you do good, you get good. When you do bad, you get bad. And that's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You there, chosen?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
If I could weigh in on that a little bit,
Come on with it, bro. Come on. I want to say something right quick before we get started. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like I'm watching a segment of I don't know. I don't know if it's called we call it Over the Road, but this is like 4K. I've never saw Man, I just come to this channel just to watch you do this. I won't even lie, brother. Wow. Go ahead though, bro.
Uh, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, that's nice as hell, boy.
My brother drives trucks, and he
I,
was
I,
asking me if I thought people would want to watch that, and apparently they do. You like it,
Yeah.
Pop.
Oh yeah,
Somebody
great. It's
watch.
great content. It's great content for real.
uh, I would just like to say when it comes to doing people good and doing people bad, right? To
Yeah.
what the lady, what's your name again? What's your profile?
High Priestess.
High Priestess was saying is like, I'm under the understanding now that I've walked with the Creator for over 30 years and my learning is still increasing, is that everything on this planet is about His people, the people of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And the treatment of people and humanity first starts, even for me, how I treat the Most High's people, right? If
Exactly.
I treat the Most High's people bad, then hey, I'm gonna get kicked in the butt. So,
Exactly.
so when the rest of the world wants anything good to come their way, it's based upon how they treat the Most High's people, and
Mm-hmm.
that goes for me as well. So when the rest of the world is not treating the Most High's people properly, then there's consequences behind that. And when you were speaking, I was listening to you and I was just reciting the words that the Most High told Abraham. I will bless them that bless you and curse them that
Oh,
curse you.
that's one of my favorite verses. Yes, because it taught me so much, Z Man. Like, I understand fully that the Most High, when something's happened to me, it makes me think of the way that I treated someone else. And I'm like, okay, Most High, I thank you for teaching me this because now I know how it feels and I won't do that again. It's a simple lesson. It's not
Right.
when people think of like when you get karma, it's like something you're being punished, but you're not being punished by the Most High for some horrible reason. You're being punished so that you can learn that lesson and do better. And if you keep doing that lesson, you're going to keep learning that lesson.
Yeah, until you do better.
Until you do better. The Most High is shaping us because this is how I feel about it. I feel like the Most High is like, oh, you gonna do my child like that? Well, now I'm gonna have to show you how that feels. And if you keep liking that lesson, I'm gonna keep teaching you that lesson
Eh,
until, like you said, you do better.
Right. And see, and this is what's going to cut the United States so bad is how they treated us as a people, even though we were deserving to be put in our enemy's land. At the same time, we had to pay a cost, they got to pay a cost. And nobody gets out of it unscathed. We didn't, and the United States is not going to. Now, it's going to be a bitter pill to swallow because they already look at us as niggas anyway. So much that we call ourselves niggas, which is a bad thing. It's terrible. But we've bit into that apple, so to speak. And so we regurgitate what we've been taught. And so this whole thing of how the world treats the Most High's people determines what the future for them will hold, even an Israelite on an Israelite. That's all I want to say. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped the mic.
It's very,
Well,
very
I
important.
have to ask who is his people because I can think of several groups of different cultures that have injustices that would point to say that you're treating the Most High people wrong. So, who would be his people?
The ones that fall up under the curse of Deuteronomy 28. Just look around the world. Who fits that bill?
Mm.
That's the Most High's people. The ones that fit the bill.
Well, there's several of them do.
Yeah, I was gonna
Who?
say because the indigenous are still being treated so terrible on this land. We could think of, I mean, we could think of the indigenous people. We can think of African American people. We can think of, and a lot of us have partners from all different races and sexes that treat us, that are fighting for us with us. Um, but it's definitely indigenous people too, because what America's still doing to the indigenous people is horrific.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The curse that fell upon the melanated man, he would have no land, have no ephah, no uh uh the main thing was he would be taken from his land, and he would have no flag. Our flag, if we want to wave a flag, is gonna be the United States flag. It ain't gonna be our flag. And he ain't gonna have an ephod, and he ain't gonna have a teacher priest, he ain't gonna have these things. And our language, if we want to speak a language fluently, I mean, we would have to learn one, but by birth, English is our tongue. And then it was prophesied that we come here on a slave ship by way of a ship. Now, I don't know if the Indians came here on a ship or they walked here, but I don't think nobody fits that bill but us, especially coming into Egypt again, which just means house of slavery or house of bondage by way of a ship. I don't recall the Indians having a history like that. I'm done. If anybody's speaking, I can't hear.
No, I think we were digesting.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Well, at least for me, I was digesting.
Yeah. And that's how I tell who the people are based upon the various blessing and the curse and certain things that have transpired upon us as a people. And plus, they changed our names. Why did they change our names? I mean, we
Well,
got,
because it means be lack. That's a curse. It's like what you just said. It's a
yeah,
curse. Be lack is a curse. And that's
okay,
why I said African American, because I mean, we could say copper colored people. Um, we could say African American, but I'm kind of against be lack now because be in lack is that whole meaning. And that is a curse.
yeah, right. It is. It ain't a blessing.
It's not a
It ain't,
blessing.
no, for sure.
And
So,
so
yeah,
I've kind of turned away from that term because I realized when I had the epiphany of, I was talking to my brother, I was talking to one of my brothers. We were on the phone and we were talking about word curses, even be blessings, be less is not
yeah,
a good term. And we use it so freely because, like you so beautifully said before, our language has only been the English language. That's what we were raised on. But a
right.
lot of these words we're so used to using, be lack, be less, and I'm gonna be less you. Well, please don't. Please don't.
I I can get to that. I'm gonna have to change my vernacular
Me
or my
too.
vocabulary on it.
I just got it, Z man. I just got it within the last year. So it's hard for me too because we were raised with these terms. We didn't know any better. And it's taken me 37 years and I'm still learning to unlearn the things that I thought were beautiful before. And I'm learning, well, maybe not so much because we have fought for the term black. We said, well,
I know.
we're not from Africa. We grew up in America. Call me black. Well, do you really
Right.
want to be called black? Because that
No.
in itself is a curse. I just
Right.
am getting this the last year. And so when I tell other people the information, I'm not telling it like I'm any better than anyone else because it's new to me as well. It's going to take a lot of unlearning for a lot of us. And some people don't want to, and that's fine. I'm not pushing it on anyone. I give the information as I get it because I once had to be told it too. And then once you get the information, if you still want to go with blessings and black, that's up to you. But for
Right.
me, now that I've learned it, it's like the Most High teaching me things. Because I wouldn't get the information if I wasn't supposed to have it. And so for me, once I learn it, I try to do better. And so I'm
I
trying
agree.
not to curse my brothers and sisters by using the terms I'm going to be less you or I'm going to call you and I black because now I realize the curse it was put on our people and the curse that a lot of these churches have put on people and they had put onto themselves with this I'm going to be less you and all these things. These aren't terms from the Most High to me. These are terms society came up with and I believe cruel dictators came up with, and now we have passed curses down and unintentionally, yes, but once we learn, I do feel like it's our job to do better as individuals, how whatever feels good to you. If black feels good to you, use it. I'm not going to criticize you. If blessings feels good to you, use it. But for me, it's unacceptable.
I agree.
And I don't like
Now,
the term mourning either, Z-Man.
I don't either. I've changed my whole greeting process with that
Me
because
too.
good morning means you're mourning. I'm not mourning. So
I'm
I
not
changed
mourning.
that.
That's a curse you put on others when as soon as you wake up, you cursing folks. And what does the Most High say about cursing? You just said it beautifully.
Yeah,
Well, I don't want to say bless,
yeah.
but you
I
get
would,
it.
I will be kind to who I will be kind to. How about that? I
There
will
you
show.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll be
I
kind to
yeah,
you. You be kind to
yeah.
me. I
Right,
won't
right,
curse you. You don't
right.
curse me. And we
Exactly,
will do our best
exactly.
as we're growing and learning. Every day is a learning
Right,
experience. As soon as you have your rising, you're waking up, stuff's happening, you're learning, you're growing, you're
right.
healing because we're in healing. Now we are in
True.
healing with learning this
Tell me,
language and what it's done
tell
to
me,
our minds. We are
tell me.
learning that we need healing, and that
Exactly.
is, to me, healing is unlearning the things that don't serve us.
Right. Yeah. The things that have hurt us over
Yes,
centuries,
yes, and
centuries, not
yeah,
years, but centuries.
absolutely. And it's a learning experience, and every day is a learning and healing and growing experience. And to me, it's a beautiful journey because at least I have the wherewithal and mind to want to grow, heal, and evolve.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Man, I don't know if y'all can see, but there's a light and darkness in the sky. And to me, it has the design of a raven's head, a side view. Can y'all see it?
Okay, Raven, I'm gonna look up the
Can,
spiritual meaning. Hold
right.
up.
Can y'all see what's in the sky? How the sky is partially lit and dark?
Yeah, I think it's a big city up ahead. Where you headed to?
California.
All right, I'm gonna read something to you, Z-Man.
Okay, go ahead.
Ravens hold deep spiritual significance as messengers between the spiritual and physical world, symbolizing transformation, which we're talking about, mysteries of life, death, and profound intelligence. Often
Mm,
considered, they guide individuals through change, inner transformation, and the unknown. They are
mm.
viewed as protectors and keepers of sacred knowledge. And we are talking about that right now. So I just think it's very interesting that we're talking about that. we're talking about growing, healing, and evolving, and they symbolize transformation, profound intelligence, and the mysteries of life. And death, which to me, death, it says death and rebirth. Rather than a negative omen, ravens often represent the cyclical nature of life, mortality, or the potential for renewal. And that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. And that's what I see in the sky, the shape of a raven.
And we're
That's
talking
crazy.
about transformation and profound intelligence. So to me, I think we're always guided by the Most High, just telling us you're on the right path. And what are we talking about? Blessings and black. We're talking about things that we need to transform in our mind and our, it says inner knowledge.
Right.
And you're seeing a raven. I just think the Most High is so wonderful. Mm.
That's heavy, man, because that's the shape that I see in the sky.
I always tell people nothing happens by coincidence. If you see something, because birds are messengers,
Yeah.
and so
Hey,
they all have profound spiritual knowledge and meaning. And I tell people whenever you see a cardinal or whatever, you need to look up, type in Google spiritual meaning of cardinal. Now for cardinal, I know I've looked it up enough because that's our Carolina bird. And it just means you're being visited by a guardian, an ancestor. If you know someone has
hey, check
passed.
this out. Check this
Hmm?
out. Check
What?
this out. Weirdest thing happened to me a couple weeks. As a matter of fact, I videoed it.
Uh-huh.
I took a 10-hour break. I didn't have a trailer attached to me, but at my last truck uh, stop at the truck shop, and where we get our trucks serviced at, they packed on a lot of grease on my fifth wheel. Now the fifth wheel is the one thing that slides and hooks to the trailer, right?
Hmm.
So I get out, I go to the customer to pick up my trailer. I get out my truck to check things out. Lo and behold, a cardinal stuck in the grease.
Oh, wow.
I said, "What the hell? How the hell you get stuck in the grease?" I was calling
Hey,
it a dumb bird.
yo,
I was calling it a dumbass bird and everything. Why you so dumb to get stuck in the grease? Now,
get
now it
stuck in the
wasn't.
grease.
Yeah, it was stuck.
Mm.
I said, what was you thinking about that you got stuck? I said, I'm glad I found you before I got up under the trailer because I would have squished you.
Poor
So
baby.
I pull it out the grease and I try to wipe the grease off of it, but I only got so far and I only had so much time. But that's interesting that you said that the cardinal is what it represents.
So a cardinal spiritual meaning centers on messages from the divine or departed loved ones, symbolizing hope, love, and protection. Often appearing during times of grief or transition, this vibrant red bird serves as a reminder that loved ones are near, offering comfort and encouragement. Also, renewal, passion, and in many traditions, a reminder to stay true to yourself.
I
Mm.
lost you. Yeah.
So what about the Cardinal Saint military?
Cardinal Saint Military? Explain it to me.
Yeah, it was a group of Cardinal Saints.
Uh-huh.
They used to dress in red robes and then go into battle and slaughter many people that were not warriors.
Mm.
So I think a particular group of people use this mythology to live a certain lifestyle and commit violence against
And
other groups of
you know
people.
what I've been learning,
That's so
Pitbull?
crazy.
I've been learning recently that everything
Hmm.
the Most High makes holy, somebody tries to dirty it up. I've been
Mm.
realizing that too. Like everything the Most High tries to give us that's beautiful, somebody tries
Hmm.
to take it and make it ugly. almost so
Damn.
that we'll have fear in our hearts. But that's the
Damn.
devil. We know that the devil is always going to make you feel fear. And that's not what the Most High wants. The Most High wants us to feel love, comfort, but the devil wants us to always feel in fear of what is good. And we can't. We can't bow down to that because that's not what the Most High put us here for, not to be in fear. So I try to remember that because everything the Most High does teach me that gives me comfort, somebody tries to come in and make it ugly. And I know that to be true. So it's interesting that you said that because it's always like the devil has to come in and you know the devil is not like some ooky spooky. It's people and being gross. And there's always going to be an opposite of good. Just like we know that somebody's going to come in and make the light an ugly thing, but the light's always going to be the light.
Yeah. Hey, shalom, people. How you doing? Shalom, people. How you doing?
Shalom, Mark.
Yeah. Oh no, he must be busy. But anyway, yeah. Man.
I like talking about this.
Yeah, so do I.
You know, I'm not one for shallow conversations. I can't stand small talk actually. Like I like to go deep and I like to talk about deep stuff and I don't know. My favorite thing is spiritual wisdom
Mm-hmm.
cuz
Ain't
that's
nothing
the
wrong with
stuff that
that.
helps you grow. I like to
Right,
talk about stuff that's going to help me become a better version of myself.
right. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I mean, what else are we here for?
Well,
To experience life in its moment.
But even that chosen helps you grow. Like if I were to go to a place I had never been before, that would help me grow. I would learn other ways of life, other ways of living, and I would come back with an experience of growing, healing, and evolving my current mindset. I mean, that's just the way I look at life.
yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. It's all good.
Hmm.
I gotta feed the beast. I gotta put some liquid energy in this bad boy.
What do you use? Energy drinks or something?
No, I'm talking about my truck. I gotta
Oh,
put
you
some
got to get
diesel.
gas.
I gotta get diesel, yeah. So I'm gonna be away for a minute. I gotta take care of this. And then I'm gonna come back. If y'all still here, I'll be back.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Hey, yo. Where we at with it?
Thank you for teaching me about that pit bull. I had never heard of that before. So look that up.
Yeah, the Cardinal Saints, They slaughtered many in the name of Jesus Christ.
What? All right, I gotta
Yeah,
look this up.
yeah. It was a military commission.
Oh, now you got me started, Pitt. Cardinal saints are Catholic cardinals who've been canonized as saints and declared blessed. Well,
Hmm.
we already heard be less. I'm disturbed.
But they be more because they was running the race, killing them. you know. So at that time when they was prominent, they would have been not be less. They would have been blessed because they was having all of the kings bring forth their goods and place them at their feet. So they
Okay,
were,
so
yeah.
wait. We got St. John Fisher beheaded in 1535 for refusing to accept King Henry as head of Church of England. Oh Lord.
You
St.
see,
Domain, a 10th century theologian and reformer.
hmm
Uh, BL, what does BL stand for? BLF Alfredo Alfonso Schuster, Archbishop of Milan, who
yeah,
opposed fascism. Oh, so these are a martyr who opposed Nazism and communism. So these are all people that wanted freedom for all people.
yeah, and the Cardinals put them in the dirt.
Oh, see, a key figure in development of World Youth Day, dead, Eduardo Francisco. Okay,
This is this was a war on Christianity from the Roman Catholic Church. This is where your apostolics and your Roman Catholics would have been warring. This is where the different councils would have been taking place, and they were actually penetrating the different avenues of Christianity and perpetuating different what we know today as denominations.
what?
Yeah. And then it gets all the way into the Pentecostal, the Lutheranism,
So
and
when
so
I
on
tell
and so
people
forth.
So when I
Martin
tell
Luther.
people about how the Catholics were beheading people, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these
Yeah.
saints that they went and killed for them wanting freedom for all.
Well, they didn't want freedom for all. They was trying to, just like they are today, trying to perpetuate a one world religion where they was forcing people to follow
I know I'm saying
Christianity.
the people they killed wanted freedom for all because this says
Well,
anti-Nazism.
the people that they killed was persecuted for not wanting to be up under the rulership of these people and follow their occultism because religion is
Right.
occultism. Yeah, that's really what it is. It's the ruling authority, and it's all about governmentalship.
That's what I say too. That the Catholic Church was all about government instead of the Most High. Wow. I just didn't know the saints that they killed, the names and what they stood for until I'm looking at it right now. That's wild.
so bad. But yeah, though, it, all of these different classisms came through colonialism, which perpetuated polytheism and scattered the understanding. That's really what took place. If we look all throughout antiquity history and foundational markers of what people were doing, we can clearly see there was a big shift when a particular set of people started to make waves in conquering. And then it's to the point where what we would see, they conquered the whole new world. So all of these things go hand in hand, but we also a lot of times look past the connections and fortitude in geographical location and region. We don't really be paying attention that a lot of people played together to put it in the position that it's in today, where it's a small minority group of regions that actually have control of its regions. And like for an example, is that not North Korea where they own people can't watch TV
Yeah.
and different things of that, they don't have no internet and
Yeah, they shut off internet at certain times. They're very
right.
controlled.
Yeah. So these where you would see that, for an example, when we look at antiquity history, I think the Fire talks about Silk Road. What Silk Road is, Fire? Talk about Silk Road in these dynasties that was over there in the Kong area, in the Chinese area, right? The Asian region, where we can look in antiquity history and see that a lot of places where a lot of groups of people got a lot of what we know today as gunpowder from that area first. And, they were able to build military might through having dynamite and C4 and all these different explosives through having this substance called gunpowder that the world had never seen. You see what I'm saying? So I think they would be the people that have the control over where they're from and what they do due to the grievances and how all of these things work. You know what I'm saying? Because think about the people that the United States say they conflict with repetitiously, but do nothing. But then you see them picking on the smaller giants, like the people that have a lot of resources, like Palestine, smaller giants, in Iraq and Iran, where poppy seeds and oil grows rapidly, which they got a lot of oil right here. It stopped reserving, weakening the economy of the people that besieged them in antiquity standing. This is what this is. They fighting the same wars they've been fighting since we lost rulership, which the nation of Yasharal, the Qadashim, or the world's police. So we're the governing body of the world when we're not in order and in rulership and in possession of the world, then the world is off balance. It's off its course. People gonna be doing all manner of wickedness, and that's what happened when Adam fell.
Well, I mean,
what
about what the Catholics did to Egypt and us having the original story of the Bible, which is from Egypt, and then they turned it into a governmental thing. They turned God into government.
Well, I think and you can definitely research this. I think that ancient Kemet would have been the first group of Yehudi to partake in making deals with the devil, the deceiver. Hold on, now, give me one second.
Peace, everyone. Queen Chosen Fire People.
Peace and
But I
water.
think
Coconut.
Shalom. But I think this group of people was the first collective body of a nation to deal with the deceiver firsthand. And I think the results of that was what you're speaking on now, which is to deceive the people off with the nectars versus the gods, principalities, and rulers and magistrates. All of that was brought forth through that type of connotation and that type of construct through linguistical, tactical symbolatry. And we can see that through all of the ancient writings, all the way up until when we get into the Greek. You know, it's an older form than the Koine Greek, but I think that this would have been your melanated Grecians, which were still, I would say, internally wicked people that were reigning prevalent during the so-called biblical time frame. And this would have been the people that was going against the grain. So it's a lot of nutritious, I like to say this word, nutritious value in historicity when you get these books that are dated in the 1800s and prior. That's what you got to be seeking the information for, because a lot of times you can see what they wrote because they didn't anticipate a people rising back to the ability to have understanding on what is being spoken in these law dictionaries throughout the law libraries, because that's what all this is about. It's all about code and law when it came down to them.
And I say this all the time, but it really hurts my heart what we did to the Ankh. It's very disturbing to me that we had the male and female Ankh representing life, and now we have this cross that represents death. It just disturbs me. And I'm not going to say I don't have a cross in my house, because I have my uncle's cross, but I do stand by the Ankh, because you can't create life without the womb, and the fact that it doesn't work. I mean, it's the same information. It was taken and turned into something a lot uglier. As we talk about, there's a light and a dark to everything. And I definitely think Egypt was abused, the information taken from there, and turned into something for like domination and rulership and government. And I don't think life's about that. Life's about ownership of self and you as an individual doing better. If everybody was concentrating on becoming a better person themselves, we would have a whole lot of people that were better, instead of people trying to force their ways on others. People need to focus on themselves, not focus on controlling others. That's weird. If you're growing and I'm growing, the world is becoming better.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome, son. I just saw that we had comments. I didn't realize that. I see you down there. Slimmy said I try to be at peace.
Okay. I had to take me a little bite to eat. All right, where we at?
What you eating on, Chosen?
I just ate a piece of turkey and cheese, just to snack on something.
Mm-hmm.
Got a slight headache, but
You
what
have
up, though?
like you have the a cold a little bit like me, or at least allergies.
Mm-mm. Nope. It's that smoker's sniffle.
I feel like it's the weather changing so much. I'm sitting outside right now. We have the most beautiful stars here right now.
Mm.
I love that about the country.
Yeah, you get to see the sky clear, less
Yes.
pollution.
Yes, like up north you can't see the stars like this like in the country. I love this. I got to look at it. It's just too pretty. We have the clearest sky right now cuz we don't have all that light pollution. And like you said, just pollution in general. But in the city, the lights cover up the stars.
I have a little short book called The Wilderness of Paran.
Mm-hmm. What's it about?
And I'm not sure, but I was interested if it was speaking on the wilderness, meaning the country life. I'm going to look up wilderness and see. Z Man, you there? Z Man still here?
No, he went to get diesel for his truck, but he said he'd be
Oh,
back.
okay. Okay, so the wilderness refers to a wild, uncultivated, inhabited land. Now, this says often dry desert like or rugged terrain.
Mm-hmm.
It can be literal, a physical place, or a symbol, or a spiritual or mental condition. A wilderness is a desert or dry land, a place without cities or structured society, untamed and uncultivated, remote and often difficult to survive in. Examples in scriptures include the wilderness journey of Israel after leaving Egypt and 40 days fast in the wilderness. Okay. So I didn't know it would be more dry land. Um, desert like. Mm. Okay.
Well, in Egypt, we relied on the Nile. So if the Nile dried up, they didn't have life. They needed that water to sustain life. And so, to me, like metaphorically, if you're lost in the wilderness, it's without the Nile, it's without the water, it's without, you having what you need to survive. And that can be spiritually when you're caught out in the wilderness because you've lost faith, or it could be mean literally where you lost then the Nile River, your gift from the Most High of having life, of having water, because you can't survive without water for 3 days. You can survive without food for 3 weeks, but you're gone in 3 days if you don't have water. And to me, it was when they came in and took the wisdom that people had of like the 42 laws of Ma'at, which was just a state of being on how to treat yourself and others good. And then you had people come in and cause a lot of confusion. And then you're caught out in the wilderness without structure, without a way of being that sustains yourself and others, or even just water. If you don't have water, you don't have life.
Let's go. Y'all gonna go back out. Let's go. Come on. I can't. Come on. Come on. Go. Come on. Out. Let's go. Get out. Come on. Storm. Come on, Storm. Go. We Okay. Okay. So the wilderness. Now, piggybacking off of what y'all was talking about earlier about lessons and stuff and things that were meant to grow you. It says here spiritual symbolic meaning. In a deeper sense, wilderness represents testing and trial, a place where character is proven, separation removed from distraction and comfort, refinement, a season of purification and growth, dependence on the Most High, learning reliance, not self sufficiency, transition between bondage and promise. The wilderness is not punishment, it's preparation. So the etymology of it is Old English, wilder, the E with the line going across it. I guess that's I don't, let me check. Hmm. Wilder. Is it wilderness or wilderness?
Yeah, that does go into what we were talking about earlier as far as like spiritually, the wilderness is just you learning self-sufficiency. It's that inner wisdom. If you're in the wilderness,
No, it says not self sufficiency, but reliant, to be reliant, but not self sufficiency.
see, I don't understand that.
You learn to rely on the Most High.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Hmm. You don't do it yourself. Like if there's no water, you rely on the Most High to get you through being thirsty.
Yeah.
Whereas if there was water, you just be self sufficient and quench your thirst and go get the water. But if
Yeah.
you're in the wilderness for a symbolic reason, then it would be to be which like when you go through these things which I was speaking on earlier, um transitioning between bondage and promise. So like going through the moment and then the promise is that you get something greater out of it. I
Yep.
guess to explain our trials and our tribulations and pain and
Right.
suffering. That would be an easy way to um
Right.
give it comfort.
Yeah, because you learn when you go through your trials, you learn your lessons to get to the promise, which is a greater.
Now the old English comes in wilderness. Um, root words wild or wild plus dior, so wild beast, meaning place of wild beast, land not rules by man. So we can understand that once upon a time, people were not ruled by man and they were ruled by the land of the wild. And in this place, there was nothing that man could rule because it's like desolate in the wilderness. Now the old English seems to come and make everything. It turns it and makes it. It turns it around. Hmm. Now the only thing it says here is the remote and often difficult to survive in. So that means that you'd have to really work harder and depend on each other to kind of survive. Like, whereas if you weren't in the wilderness, you'd have things to be self-sufficient on and rely on and be comfortable, which takes you away from the real struggle, I guess, or the real lesson to learn and dependency on the Most High. I would think it's an end goal or a purpose or a reason for that to prepare you for a time where you may have to be in the wilderness. These things are used to prepare us for that time. It says, in your context, the wilderness is the proven ground. Before elevation comes isolation. Before kingdom comes desert. Before promise comes pressure. It's the space where identity is forged. Okay. So now we have the understanding of wilderness, symbolically and physically. Let me see what they call the country. Oh, that might be the heathen land, where the country dwellers are heathens. And so in the wilderness is the desert, not the forest. Okay. I was thinking wilderness was like the forest, but okay, so wilderness is the desert where there's lack of water. Okay. And then the heath, the heathen is like the hill where the grass and the country is. So that's a country, the heathen dwellers. And then you have wilderness. Okay.
Pew pew.
Then you have your Babylonians, which are the city people. Would that be the city people, the Babylonians?
Repeat that again, Chosen. Chosen.
Okay. So the wilderness is your desert area where there's no water, hard to survive. Heathen, the heath, is where the country people dwell. So the country is not the wilderness. I thought the country was the wilderness, but those are two different things. So then the Babylon would be like your city area, right?
I guess. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me look up Babylonian. Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay.
Polytheistic. They had advancements in mathematics and astronomy. located in a fertile region. And see, okay, it says the Babylonians were a powerful, influential, and intellectually advanced society that left a lasting impact on civilization, particularly through their contributions to science and law. So yeah, looks like the city folk, I guess. And I guess, like you said, the heathens would be the country folk.
Mm. Okay.
Seems like an advanced society. And see, to me today, we have so much that sometimes we can get distracted from the Most High, because we don't have to want for anything. Everything comes to us because we're in such a advanced society. So it's easy for people to say, oh well, there is no Most High, because we have a lot less lessons, to me, in such a society where everything, I mean, look, we drive every mile and there's another McDonald's. Like, so sometimes it's easy for us to forget the Most High unless we look for the Most High. To me, that's why you have to do that inner work, because you can get confused and think that everything, like, you can get confused and think that life is not a gift when it really is, because everything's handed to us now in society. And so you could think that there's no Most High. You could forget, because you always have what you want so easily accessible. You have to search for the Most High, to me, if you want to have a relationship.
Mm. Hmm. So it says here Babylon represents human pride and rebellion, confusion, captivity, worldly power systems, opposition to the Most High. And okay, I'm just gonna read a little, if y'all don't mind, from this book. It's a little let me cam up and show you. It's just a little book, The Wilderness of Paran. It's not that big. I'm just gonna read a little bit out of it, if y'all don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
It's by Charles A. Hahn. A Teaching All Nations publication. The Wilderness of Paran. The Wilderness of Paran will have features which differ from other wildernesses. This is true in the case of every wilderness. They all differ. They all differ from one another in some aspects. We shall not be considering the physical characteristics of the wilderness of Paran. This work will focus upon spiritual aspects which are taken from the Bible. In Christian circles, believers have been giving quite a variety of thoughts on spiritual wildernesses, some of which may be correct and some incorrect. However, a person's experience in a spiritual wilderness may not fit anything that he has been told. For example, the totally terrible thing which was reported to me is not nearly as bad as I was led to believe. Most believers have the idea that the spiritual wilderness experience is practically unbearable. If such a person is found in the wilderness, his built in attitude would immediately translate the experience as terrible. It is almost impossible to convince him that it is beautiful and a wonderful place in which to be. The wilderness does not feel good, nor does it appear beautiful. He may have a very difficult time with the wilderness. He may have difficulty believing that it should be part of the Christian spiritual training. He may find it virtually impossible to discover its positive aspect. If he would give his attention to the word of God and to the wisdom and experiences of others, he would indeed learn the ways of God in a wilderness experience. Anyone with an open, honest heart desiring God's best will gain much from this booklet. Will you understand? Most, if not all, believers have experienced a spiritual wilderness. These have a foundation or a platform upon which they can better understand or understand for the first time. It's divine arrangement and purpose. If you have never experienced a spiritual wilderness, which is highly unlikely, you may have extreme difficulty understanding this area. Even some who have passed through many wildernesses have a difficult time understanding. This is mainly due to the fact that they do not wish to own wildernesses as a part of their Christian experience. The believer somehow assumes that he must understand everything today. Therefore, he presses for meanings which do not exist, or he will insist upon enlightenment which is beyond his experience and capacity to know and to carry. The result of such persistence is misunderstanding. The real damage in this is the assumption that a true understanding has been attained. To avoid the dangers entailed in such practice, we must first be content not to understand. Secondly, we must be willing to lay aside what we may or may not believe. Thirdly, we may be willing to hold on or contain the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience. Timothy, 1 Timothy 3 and 9. That is what we must be willing to hear, that which we do not understand. Receive it and hold it within ourselves until doing anything, without doing anything with it for the time being. Most of that which Jesus taught had his disciples was not grasped by them at the time. Later they understood what they received. What we do not understand today, we are to hold in a pure conscience for the future. The fact that we experience a wilderness does not necessarily mean that we recognize it as such. Mm. Mm. Okay. The very fact that we experience a wilderness does not necessarily mean that we recognize it as such. Some may never have been told that their difficult experiences are called wildernesses. Other names may have been given them. My intention is not to label these experiences, for a label may help or it may hinder. My purpose is to help believers in their walk, regardless of what their difficult situation may be called. Keep in mind some characteristics found in these difficult times I refer to as wilderness experiences. A partial list of so called negative difficulties is testing, proving, tribulation, persecution, suffering, spiritual dryness, and darkness. For example, whenever the consciousness of God's presence is lost for a period of time, so that prayer and communion seem to become meaningless. The believer is in a wilderness. He is in a dryness. There is no consciousness of God blessings and movings upon him in his wilderness. There are also positive characteristics in the wildernesses. The wilderness of Paran is glory or beauty. Now, is Paran, where is Paran? I want to see where that's at. Let me find out where's Paran. Okay, in between where? Okay, up near wilderness of Sinai, Mount Sinai, wilderness of Egypt, Mount Musa, wilderness of Sin, wilderness of Shur, wilderness of Paran, Numbers 10 through 12, 13 through 26. Okay. I wonder is this little is this the Nile? That long Al Lars, Mount Sinai, Numbers 33 and 15.
Pew pew.
Okay, good. Now chat pulls up picture sources. Take you right to the picture or that source in a photo. That's kind of cool now. I like that. Okay, so this is the Gulf of Suez and then the Gulf of Elath. Mm. And then the Mediterranean Sea, and then you had the Dead Sea. And Paran would be near that sea, the Moab, Jerusalem, Jericho, Arad. Oh, now this said, okay, right by the Gulf of Suez, in between Sinai, Mount Sinai and Sinai. That's where Paran is, the wilderness of Paran. Paran. Okay. Great Bitter Lake, Little Bitter Lake. And then you got Egypt. Egypt was big land. Okay. Now, Noph, Noph, Noph. Oh, that's the Nile River. So the Nile River spread out 1, 2, 3. Nile Delta, Wadi, Tumilut, Succoth, Sile, Ramses, and Goshen. Okay. So the Nile River goes out, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Mm. Where it pulls in from the Mediterranean. Okay. Kadesh, Barnea, Edom, Elah, Quiet, Quar, Quar, Quaraya, Quaraya, Alternative, Mount Sinai, Elah. Okay. Okay, so we know where the wilderness of Paran is. Now this is Paran Desert at TH, at TH, at T. Amalekites, wilderness of Shur. Oh, before they were called deserts. Oh, so the wilderness. Now let me see what's the difference between the wilderness and the desert. Peninsula of Mount Sinai. Okay. St. Suez Canal. Carryover. Okay. Buriket to mesh crocodile. L. Salt marshes below the sea level of the sea. Baal Zephon, Serapion, Migdol, Heliopolis, Castle of Ariz, Koth, Bubastis, Nekos Canal. Wow, just named a lot of this land like, okay. Rastraki Cassius, El Irish, Agaba, Agaba, Carrero River. Okay. Mount Hor, Hor, Jeshara, Jeshava. Pilgrim Ramsey to Mecca, Roman Road. All right. Just wanted to see where this land was.
Where did you get the book, Chosen?
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, shucks. I'm not sure.
Oh, you've had it for a while.
Yeah, I pick up a lot of books from the library when they give them away, and
Yeah. I like
different
to get good
places that have
books
books.
from Goodwill and stuff too.
Yeah. Uh,
But we have a new uh I live in a small town. We have that new comic book store here, so I think that's really cool because it's just another place to go. Comics aren't that expensive, and a lot of them teach a lot of like heavy life lessons that people don't pick up unless they actually really think about the book. They're usually teaching a lot of lessons, and there's also a lot of on my other platform, there's this guy that his page is called Black Chronicles, and he teaches about like a lot of black comic book characters that were taken and turned into other characters. He teaches all the little lessons that they were actually meant to teach. Like for it seems like most Marvel characters were taken from other characters that actually had like way deeper meanings that were our characters, and I just think that's really cool, but they're just not as popular. But like they have different names, but they kind of change the story around a little bit. It's pretty cool that that guy teaches on that.
mm,
He also teaches on like forgotten characters of color that not characters, but actually he teaches characters, but he also teaches about people like Mansa Musa, people that actually, because we always think of ourselves in American history, we learn about slaves, but if you actually go deeper, you realize that our people had a lot more money. They just weren't Americans. They were people from Africa and other places that we don't learn about in American history. And sometimes that can make us feel like our start was slavery, and it wasn't.
mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like, we learn about that and it makes us feel low because we're like, oh, so our characters are slaves? No, we had a lot deeper history. They just don't teach us about it in our American schools, which I think is pretty probably problematic for our psyche, that we just think of ourselves like, oh, our history was slavery, and that's not it. So that's why you kind of gotta do your own searching.
Okay, so Europe and Africa lands do not touch. Okay, so that means that the no, it's a little small bridge, a little gap of water between there. Uh,
What's it
now
called,
here's
Chosen?
what that.
Uh huh.
Well, it looks like that is the
Yeah, my bad.
Mediterranean Sea. This looks like this is the Mediterranean Sea. Now I gotta find out what that other piece of water, what is that side called? So here it looks like the Negev Desert is what separates uh, Israel, that little strip there, like we was talking about the other day, is what separates the land because it's not separated from Africa and Asia is not separated. Hold on.
What was the name of that book? Chosen. Something Paran. Yo, Queen.
I'm here.
I said, what was the name of that book?
I couldn't remember. I was going to answer you, but I couldn't remember. You did better than me. You knew Quran.
Paran something.
Yeah, you did better than me.
I think people.
Chosen? I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah, so it might pick back up over here in a second. I don't know.
What you mean? What you doing, Fire?
I'm trying to. Hold on. Let's see. I was trying to ask what was the name of that book.
So it's called the Wilderness of
Something.
Paran.
The Wilderness of Paran, Fire.
Now, I need that book. What that book is? Show that book again. You know, I'm over here doing different stuff on different apps, trying to maintain.
Look,
now,
Fire.
you need to know something right there. Now, let me ask you something. Look, you need to keep that book. You just, I don't know what's in this book. I don't know. But I know it's a mountain on the front of that book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now go to, so you got to start be a little more research prowess. So now you go to Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 33, verse 2. Now I go there. I put it up in screen share mode. Hold on one second. Got the capability. Okay, when you go to Deuteronomy, like this one right here. What's going on, bro? Give me 1 second. Is that on the screen? Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, ye children.
On YouTube. Okay, hold on.
Light is so bad, man.
What's up?
Shining in my eyeballs.
Tell me when to. I'll read it if you want, Fire. Just let me know.
Deuteronomy 33 and 2. Hold on. 33 and 2. It says here.
Ye he loved.
Right.
And he said, the Lord came from Sinai and rose from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints. From his right hand went a fiery law for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's how, like when we say I have 10,000 angels behind me, that's where that comes from.
Right, and it's dealing with Yahuwah, and he coming from Sinai, and he rose up from Seir unto them, and he shined forth from Mount Paran. So if he's shining forth from Mount Paran, let's see what this is. To shine forth.
I missed this.
To show itself. So he shined forth from our front. He came with 10,000 of his saints.
From his right
Yeah.
hand went a fiery law for them. They had to obey his law. Mm-hmm.
So what was stated in that book?
I haven't read it yet, but it's talking about the wilderness and
It's
how we
talking about
need
being in
the
the
wilderness.
wilderness.
Yes.
And we were discussing before the different things about the wilderness, the spiritual meaning, the literal meaning.
Right. You know, it ain't nothing going on in the wilderness, right? You know, the cities, they got everything going on.
Uh-huh. But to me, Fire, sometimes, I was saying before, sometimes the cities are what distract us from the Most High to me, because it's like every half a mile we've got a McDonald's. We have everything handed to us. We're, you know, we have so many things available to us. We're kind of spoiled being in the civilization that we're in right now. Like, we have to go within and search for the Most High, ask ourselves those questions about ourselves and life to really find the Most High. Because if we don't try to find the Most High, I mean, he's going to show himself to us, but we can get lost in civilization. It can make you feel like everything's handed to you, and if you're not careful, I feel like it draws you away from the Most High. Kind of like they say, worldly. It can make you a little too worldly if you're not careful. You could just keep going every day and feel like everything's handed to you and forget, like, all of this is a gift.
It say today some believers will miss the glory of the Most High in the wilderness. There are many things we would never want to miss. Vacation would we want to forego our vacation time, payday? Who would want to miss payday? Christmas. Few believers would want to miss Christmas. We want money, convenience, comfort, health, happiness. We want a nice home and car. When a Christian gives these things greater priority than the glory of God, he has come short of the glory of God. He will miss the beauty and glory in the wilderness of Paran. We will miss seeing the glory of God, and our vision is fixed on our fears. Fear will keep us from looking toward the wilderness. Let us not be afraid of the wilderness. Seasons in the wilderness will become the occasion when God imparts certain divine meanings and revelations and richness to us. The wilderness will be the place of our great progressions in God. There are certain things which God can bring to only us as we properly relate to his glory in the wilderness. There are certain aspects of the work of God in us which must be accomplished in the wilderness and nowhere else. These cannot be done in the promised land. They cannot be done in heaven. They cannot be done in prosperity. They cannot be done in health. Wherever they must be done, we must follow God to the place and respond to him there. There's one. Okay, so this says the workshop. The wilderness is God's workshop. He has designed it for us. He brings us to it. Even everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. Isaiah 43:7. We are brought there to see his glory, to relate to it, to learn from it, and above all, to be conformed to his image. We would prefer God to work on us in his workshop of green grass and still water. Although there have their places, although these have their places in our Christian experience, certain changes in us are not accomplished in these lovely and pleasant places. We do not seem to linger long in the pleasant places. The children of Israel followed the cloud to the green grass. The name of the place was Hazeroth. The stem of this Hebrew word, Hazeroth, 2698, means green grass, leeks, enclosure, and others. This Hazeroth must have been a luscious place. The International Standard Bible Encyclopedia refers to it as the best pastures. To those camping there, this would have been most pleasing. We do not like to camp in the desert or in the wilderness, but rather in an oasis where there is a carpet of green grass and a fish filled stream. How long do we camp in the green grass beside the still waters? Not very long. This is interesting. This is interesting. This paints a very different narrative about Africa. This really does, because that a lot of the land is desert like in the and wilderness like. So to be thinking that we're so fortunate with the pastures of the green grass here in America, now it can relate to how it could be Babylon. Like, now, okay, this is very relative. It's relative to understand how they demonized and made us forget this place. So, yes, this is very, very interesting, because I would have never thought that the wilderness meant this desert land where you can't thrive. I really thought the wilderness, I had envisioned in my mind, this is why it's important to not lean on your own understanding from the images of television and the world. Because every time I read about or heard about the wilderness, I always envisioned a forest,
No, for
grass,
real. No, for real. You're
mhm,
right. Like, me too. Me too.
country like area.
Same. I mean, it sounds,
And
because we think of wild, right? And we think of,
mhm,
yeah, we think of the forest. We think about being in some, I don't know, not jungle, but definitely country. No, you're right. And that's like your test. Being out in the wilderness is sounds like your test to me, where you're a little lost, but you still can be found.
mm. Yeah, it just paints it different now to understand why they y- man, now you see why they were so built up on going to the Nile, and now we see how the city's built up, and the fastness of everything takes you away, like, to understand the Most High. It's like the slowness, the stillness, the
That's what you
patience,
need,
the
chosen. I'm telling you, like, that's why
steadfast of
you
everything.
you
This
have
is
to take that time out to have that quiet. That's why, to me, prayer is so important, because it's just a moment to connect with the Most High. If you don't make the time, you don't, this, the way things are today, chosen, it just feels like you can forget if you don't take the time to pray, take the time to talk to the Most High. And I always tell people, prayer doesn't have to be like when we were kids. It doesn't have to be formal. It can be very much like you talking to your father, because if you don't, you could be lost in translation with this city life. Because even in the country, things are still so fast here because of everything we've built up that if you don't make that time to have a relationship with the Most High, time can pass you by very quickly. I don't know what happened to fire. I'm shocked
Yo,
that
I'm her. I am her, but I'm backstage. I'm trying to do a few things on the back end. Please bear with me. I am enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the conversation. Um, I sure do appreciate it.
I just want to make sure you're okay. Well, I think the biggest lesson from that is making the time.
To get the heck out of Dodge, to get out of the thing is it's kind of like the same thing being in the big city and being in the wilderness. It's kind of like the same thing, but
Because it's a state of mind, Chosen, right?
well, you don't have the physical things that are tangible that substitutes the things that you would get from the creator, like the things that you get spiritually from being in the wilderness. They substituted it with the physical things that we have in the city life,
And that's
and
all a
so all those
distraction.
things. Hmm.
That's a distraction to me. Like, that's the distraction that tries to take you away from the wilderness that you need, the quiet time that you need to really connect with the Most High. Because when you're in need of things, you're a lot more apt to. It's like when they say how when you don't have it, you pray, and then when you have it, you don't because you feel like you got everything. But at that time when you have everything, to me, is when you need to be the most thankful. It's when you need to pray still continuously because that can be taken away from you at any moment. You're not guaranteed the things that you're given. Just because you have doesn't mean you quit thanking the Most High.
Well,
Because it,
you wouldn't experience. You wouldn't experience. It would be very hard. And so I could see how they would spend time in the churches. You replace the open land, the bare land, the okay, so the wilderness is everything that the green grass and the great pastures don't have.
mm,
So if you're in the wilderness spiritually, if there's no access to water and you're thirsty, you have to get the things from the Most High to quench your thirst. It's like it's a mental state of mind, but also a physical place that we can be. But the mental aspect of it's what's taking place. The physical, like you said, yeah, distracts you from you, I think, learning the lesson and building the character. Because if I oh my goodness, this is something because you don't have to really struggle. And now I can see how the war and the feud becomes um because you have man who builds up the city and give you the things to be reliant on so that you don't have to go through the wilderness.
and see, that's why I feel like I feel like I'm repeating myself. I feel like you do have to make the time And everybody who comes over here, they're like, your townhouse is so quiet. And I'm like, it's just me. Like, what did you expect? But to me, you know, I like that quiet to focus on the Most High and to be able to pray. Like your church is wherever you make it. To me, it's you can pray to the Most High. Whatever you believe in, the Most High, your ancestors, your spiritual council, your angels, your elementals, your guides. Um, you can talk to them at any time. I just know that when you're out in the world, um, I see you drop down. I just know when you're out in the world, it's a lot easier to forget. Thank you.
Right, girl. See that? Boom. Now let's go back and look at the show again. Boom. When things fell apart just then, the producer backstage, he goes, he brings back up. He brings back up. This is what the producer backstage does. I sure do appreciate it. I'm enjoying the conversation.
No problem. But yeah, I like this. I like this talk. I could talk about the Most High all the time. I just think the gratitude is the most important thing. Being thankful when you do have it, being thankful when you don't have it. Because when you do have it, it can be taken away at any moment. And then you're back in feeling like the wilderness. So it's just best to be thankful all the time.
So, is it man's right to? Because I'm just gonna put myself in the place of man in this time, in this, they're in the desert and they pack up and say, we're gonna move and go south and try to find, some
Yeah, because you're always going to be
water.
searching for that water if you don't have it, right? You're not just going to sit there and die in 3 days without no water. You're going to move. You're going to go to find it. And that's really searching for searching for the Most High, but searching for your lessons that grow you, that you learn from. When you learn, you heal and you do better next time. You don't have to go through that lesson. But yeah, you're going to search for that water if you don't have it.
So I want to get further and see if okay, so ChatGPT said that wilderness was not being in the wilderness was not punishment. And I was just about to ask, you think that this is where they have been sent to for punishment, to kind of like learn that lesson. But it said it wasn't for punishment, but for preparation.
Yeah, it's growth. You're always being prepped in growth so you could be a better version of yourself. The Most High is always molding you. That's why when you're in a tough spot, you can't look at it as you're being punished. You have to look at it as, like you said, perspective of because everything in life is about perspective. If you have a negative attitude and a terrible attitude when you're going through the wilderness, the unknowing, the unsurety, the what's happening to me, I've never been through this. It's like, well, you have to be sure, you have to have faith. This is where faith comes in, that the Most High is putting you through this to mold you, to grow you, to evolve you into a better version of yourself. and have that positive attitude. That's why I said being grateful is always important, whether you're in a bad spot or a good spot. Because if you have the wrong attitude, you could just lay down and die. Who wants to do that? Nobody. So you're not going to lay down and die. You're going to say, this is happening for a reason, and keep waking up every day with a positive attitude, which I know is a lot easier said than done. But you have a choice. Either you're going to be miserable or you're not. And I would rather just be happy. Happiness is a choice. Regardless of the spot that you're in, happiness is a choice.
I
It's
don't
how,
agree with that.
why? What makes you not agree with that?
Mm, because you just don't choose. I mean, how do you make yourself? I don't even know how to put this because it's been one of those things I wondered. How
Yeah.
does one make themselves happy when the things to life, the actions of life is meant for you to have a reaction, and that is for you to know what you are and what you stand for. I think the Most High gives you this this emotional package, this character, and you should fill it in by speaking it out on what's in the inside that the Most High gives you. And I don't know if you can choose to be happy, because then would you be able to respond to things like, because then that means everything you'd be just happy about. How do you know
Well,
how to feel
I
if
say
you
it's a
chose to be happy?
I say it's a choice because, a lot of you don't know my testimony, but um I was bedbound for about 8 years when I had fluid on my brain, and people are like, how did you get through that? I would have went crazy because, the fluid on my brain was crushing my brain, and so it just felt like a migraine for about 8 years. And just being bedbound and not having I couldn't really have light or a lot of sound. And I almost died a few times. And, without me having the positive attitude that I typically do towards any situation in life, I don't know how I would have gotten through that. Like, I had to choose to continue every single day, 365 days a year for 8 years, without giving up, without having a bad attitude, because it would have made it a lot harder for me if I didn't choose the perspective of, one day this is going to be fixed, one day this is going to be over, one day this is going to be better, and what I have to think about what I'm learning from this. And I learned to always try to put myself in other shoes, because you never know what people are going through, and to always try to have a good heart for people, because you never understand their situation. Like, even if you meet somebody out in the world and they're not acting like you think, they're not acting the way that you would like to have them act right at that moment. Well, you don't know what they went through right before you had contact with them. So you don't really know. You just never know. You have to put yourself in other shoes and give people a chance, and not just assume this or that, because maybe you're in a better place in your life and they're not. And so I try not to ever look down on people or judge people, because I don't know what they're going through. They might have just lost somebody. They might be grieving about a divorce. They might have lost a baby. Like, you don't know what people are going through when you have contact with them, and you have such a brief contact with them. It's just best not to judge, because, and I'm not saying I haven't been judgmental in my earlier years, um, or even a couple years ago, but I think the reason that I've grown so much in the last couple years is just reflecting off of what I went through in those 8 years and just being grateful every day to wake up and have health and to have a roof over my head and to have every little thing that the Most High's given me, because I know today is not promised, and it's also not promised that you'll have your health. You know, that's something to be so grateful for. People don't value the fact that they can hear, that they can see, that they can, just have the basic things that some people don't have. Some people don't have legs. And you can walk around freely. You know what I mean? It's just that 8 years really taught me to be grateful, chosen for just the smallest things. And so when people ask, why are you so happy all the time? Well, because I'm not in that situation anymore. And now it just really makes me be a lot more happy. I guess that I even have the freedom to be out of bed and the freedom to have light and sound and just typical things that other people take for granted. And so I guess that's why I'm so content all the time, is that I just know that nothing's promised. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. But I still don't think we choose to be happy. Mm. I think it comes in different moments, and you get to find out, what actually makes you happy.
Yeah, for sure. And um every emotion is a learning lesson too. So I agree that it's important to acknowledge when you're sad and why you're sad and reflect on that so that you can grow from it, or even why you're mad. I mean, because I'm a really sweet person, but I have a major temper. um, People don't like to see me get angry because I'm always nice. So when I'm mad, I'm mad, and it's typically about injustices, either like somebody treating me really bad or somebody treating another person really bad. Like I can't stand that because, like I said, I just feel like we should always try to put ourselves in other people's shoes, and I don't like bullies. That's what makes me really the most angry is bullies. I like to bully the bully. I'm
The
not
bully
one.
be the most hurt person.
Exactly, girl. You put the nail on the coffin. I feel like the bully is the most unhealed person going around and treating other people like poop because they feel like poop inside. And I'm like, look, go somewhere and heal. And that's why I like to bully them into healing because I'm like, you're not about to be out here hurting innocent people. I'm definitely the one you want to meet. But yeah, we do differ on that whole like perspective of you choose to be happy, because I know that if I didn't choose a positive attitude, man, I would have lost my mind during those 8 years. So I had to choose to find something to be happy
Well,
about. Even if it was the smallest thing, hun, I had to
how
find
do you
something.
determine, like, I don't even know how to put it in words. So when you respond to something,
Hmm.
um, this why this is so, it's not ours. This why we belong to the Most High, because we're wouldn't we all be happy? Like, what if you chose to be happy? Why is it that different things we respond to don't make us happy? Like, I don't think you're supposed to
Nothing can make you happy, babe.
choose
That's what I
happiness.
learned. Nothing
I
can
feel
make you happy. It's you. You have to make you happy. A person can't
like
make you happy. That's why I feel like people are a little weird when they're like, oh, I'm dating this person because they make you happy. Well, you have to be happy without them. And I'm sorry, but if you don't make yourself happy, you'll never be able to make anyone else happy. And so to me, you can't rely on another person to make you happy, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's a partner. You have to be happy all on your own. And then
okay,
every
so when I say happy, like make yourself happy, right? Like, so I watch certain movies and I cry instantly. I get so emotional. Oh my gosh. So in that moment, I don't choose to respond to, I wonder if our environment has shaped our perceptions on what or how we internalize or respond to things that make you so-called happy, because I don't think it's you who's choosing how to feel. You just get to respond to it. You get to share it and output it. Like, how
No,
did you
you have to have
determine?
control, babe. Like you can't let your emotions rule you. That's one thing I've
No,
learned
not
about it.
emotions, but how did you determine that you liked it steak? Like your taste buds just like steak. I mean, do you choose to like it, or
No.
is it?
You're right. You're right. No, like with certain things, okay, you don't have a choice. Some things just make you happy. I get it. But you are in a state of perspective at all times. You can look at the cup half full or you could look at it half empty. Everything is perspective. You could look at yourself as like, oh, another day waking up with a migraine. Or you can look at it like, one day I'm going to be free of this. I have faith that this will be better. It's a perspective of happiness. Fire, I need you to bring up Chosen again. If you can hear me. Thank you. But
Huh.
yeah, so I don't know. All that, there's deer. I'm outside and there's deer. These deer, they are so cute. I'm telling you, man, I love the country. Um, yeah, I think everything is perspective. Glass half full, glass half empty. Um, everything is perspective. You could look at your everything in your life that way. It's like, oh, I don't have, you can look at it as like, oh, I'm broke. Don't ever say you're broke. That's a terrible curse to say on yourself. You could look at it like, well, I don't have what I have right now, but I will someday. Or you could look at it like, oh, I don't have anything. I'm gonna drown in bills and I'm gonna no. Like you can get yourself worked up, Chosen, if you're not careful. Like the mind is so powerful that you can trick yourself into misery or you could trick yourself
I
into
don't think
happiness.
that's how it works. Like those things are, you don't. I am a embrace the suit that you were given type of person. Embrace. I didn't choose this body. I didn't choose any of this. I didn't come before the womb and
Yes,
press
but
the
you have
button
to
and
choose
say,
to love
make
that
me
body. You
this
have to choose.
thin. I didn't say make me this thin woman with
No, you have
long
to
flowing hair.
choose. That's what
I
I'm
was I was born with, curly, fine, thin hair and curves. I'm
and you
not
have to
a
choose
thin
to love
frame.
that,
I'm
right?
not a thin frame woman. So I personally believe you're supposed to fulfill that suit that you're in versus resist it. And I think
Right,
a lot of
but you have to,
people,
that's what I mean
I
by the
think a lot of, hold on,
happiness.
I think a lot of people go outside of this body to put things in it to fulfill it. When you resist the whole spiritual being that you are, and
But
replace
we're
it
kind
with
of saying the
whatever.
same thing, babe, because what I'm saying is
Mhm.
you have to say, I love this body. It's a working body. It maybe
Well, how do you say that if you say you choose to be happy?
you have to choose to be happy about that, the skin that you're in. You have to choose to be happy about the hair that you have. You have to choose to be happy if God gave you big thick lips or little thin lips, you have
You
to
cannot make yourself
embrace.
happy. If you're not happy, you're just not happy.
But
Like you
and
can't
it's okay,
make
embrace
yourself
that though.
happy. How do you mourn when somebody passed and they say, "Oh," like how do you make yourself happy? You're hurting, so you
No,
don't choose to hurt. It's the hurt that comes along with the body. How do I alter my feelings when I'm in mourning because somebody passed and make myself smile and think of it as a happy thing? Like, is
well,
that,
okay.
is that?
So you're talking grief now. So with grief,
No, not just grief. I'm saying the emotion. If I'm feeling something that hurts me, how do I make myself happy from that place?
so what I
Why
mean
would you make
in that
yourself happy?
in
Feel
that
what you feel.
in that moment, I would say it's very important because it's taken me a long time to grieve my dad's death. I mean, I was only in my 20s, and a lot of people know that about me, that it's been something I've been kind of stuck on, grieving. And it is what I've learned is it is important to allow yourself to feel the way that you feel, but also the other important part is to allow yourself to break yourself away from the grief sometimes to give yourself a break. So, for instance, if you're grieving, I think it's important to do things that you love. If you like coloring, that's where inner child work comes in. If you like coloring, do some coloring so that
Why
you can
don't
get.
you just breathe so that you can get it out of your system and in that moment feel what you feel so you don't have to come back and revisit it and it don't stay in you. Like why do you have to adjust your feelings and try to do work on yourself as a person because like you because that's changing to me that's changing who the most high gave you to be, that spirit. Like those moments you go through is not to like change you, but to help you survive, to be reliant on the most high, to prepare you for dark days, not to change you or grow you as a person because you're already given your suit, your soul, you're already given this consciousness. You just have to walk in it. And
Right.
people spend a lot of time doing work and healing and it's not like do alternatives. No, you're supposed to feel these emotions. That's why you have them. So
I
why
agree.
not just when you're grieving, grieve, let yourself feel that sadness. It goes away because you're gonna come back to it and eat. And some people never lose the sadness, and even if they color, the sadness is still there. The coloring just hides it. So for me, it's just like better feel it and not try to hide it or dump it or rearrange it. Feel it and let it be in that moment and it'll pass.
I
This too
agree.
shall pass.
I agree. I think you should allow yourself your feelings and also give yourself grace to feel your feelings, because if you don't, like you said, it's going to come back. But what I've learned in grieving is that it comes in waves. So, for instance, I can feel like I've already grieved, and then something comes up that reminds me, and then I'm grieving again. I've learned it never quite ends. The grieving process, you're always going to have things that remind you and maybe make you feel sad again. But like you said, like it is important for you to allow yourself the time to grieve. But I also agree in doing things that make you happy about living. Like I realized that it wasn't okay for me to just focus on the loss of my father. It was also important for me to do things to celebrate his honor, to celebrate his life, and not just focus on the fact that he's not here anymore, but focus on the fact that he was here and celebrate the moments that I did have, and have like remember the happy moments and remember the good things and the good times, not just focus on the death, because if you do, you can drown in that. Because it can be never ending if you don't allow yourself the space to celebrate as well. Like, in some cultures they celebrate when someone dies because they celebrate that person's life instead of focusing on their death. And so I try to do that now. Focus on the celebration of the time that I did have with my dad instead of focusing on the death, because it's not healthy for you to just focus on the fact that someone's gone forever. Eventually you do have to move on and realize at least I had a dad, because some people don't even have a dad. Some people never got to meet their dad. Some people, so I try to that
Those emotions and those things are what make you push through and live for the next day.
yes, yeah.
That's why everything turning into robots, because humans want to keep finding ways to escape the wilderness.
Hmm.
Okay?
For sure, for sure.
But I guess pain and the art of that pain and will force you out of the wilderness and to you will fold before you survive, make it through. So it's people that are, I guess, set apart now
Yeah.
that are the ones that help guide you and get you through now, because they can go through the wilderness and they can handle those things and they've been through it.
Well,
So,
that's why I spend so much time like helping others, because I know how much I've been through and I've made it through and I've survived. And so I feel like I make a good guide to help other people survive stuff because of all the things I've survived, especially at such a young age. And so I honor the fact that I can help people now because I made it through the other side.
okay, so I'm going back to something I was taught about thinking. And so I was taught that if you change the way you think, you'll change the way you feel. So I guess you can uh I guess you can, but I think that that's what shapes a person. Like what, because different things make different people move and emotion about life. Like I'm not real big on um certain things. Um okay, let's just say like phone calls, texting. I don't need a person to call me every day, but call me. But then there's some people who need some people to call them every day. And if they don't, that's the
That's
problem.
what I call codependent, and I don't like that. Like I tell everybody I love, look, I love you, but I really enjoy my alone time and my peace. Whether I have a partner, our peace together, I enjoy that. I don't need to hear from you every single day to know that you love me. I guess with a partner I would, but like with everyone else, I'm just like, look, I love you, but I'm not codependent at all. I'm very independent. So I don't need to hear from you every day. I need to know that you're okay and I'm here for you when you need me. But if you need me every day, um, you need to find something within to make yourself feel whole, because I'm sorry, that's too much. Only person I need calling me every day and checking on me every day is my partner, and I don't have one right now. So, you know, you're gonna have to find something to sustain yourself where you don't feel like you need to call me every day. Like even with my best friends I've had for 30 years, we would talk every few weeks to, we didn't need to call each other every day, but all of us were independent. So I don't understand the codependent stuff. To me, that's somebody that, they need to do some inner work. So I understand that. Like you have to find your own peace. Nobody's going to give it to you.
What are people here for if everything is meant up to you to do?
What do you mean?
If everything is up to you to do it, why are there people here in this world? Why do we share a space with people if it's all up to us?
Because I think we do need each other, but I don't think it's like you said. I don't think I need you as a friend to call me every day to make sure I'm fine. I'm gonna be fine today, and I'm gonna
But
be
some
fine
people
tomorrow.
need that.
Yes, some people do, but I think those people need to heal because they're codependent on other people.
No, you depend on people every day. Like, how do you get through life by yourself? What do you do alone? Nothing. We don't do nothing by ourselves. Except probably poop. And I don't even think you do that by yourself.
Well, not if you have a dog, because he's gonna be right there. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, boy.
That's so funny that dogs do that. I was looking at a little documentary the other day. It was talking about how dogs feel like that's your most vulnerable time. So they feel like they're protecting you by watching you. And I'm like, what? But when you think about it, it's kind of true, because when you take the dog outside, you watch his back while you're taking him on a leash. You watch his back.
I don't.
Well, while the dog's pooping, he feels like you're making sure nobody's sneaking him from
No,
behind.
I don't. I'm not watching him poop. Mm-mm.
Oh, you must have a backyard.
Yeah.
Yep. If you have a dog on a leash, though, they feel like, well, you're making sure you got my back. When I'm pooping, nobody's gonna sneak me. And so I feel like they gotta watch you when you go, because they're like, I'll make sure nobody sneak you, Mom. It's funny.
I don't see a lot of words. I'm not into a lot of bull crap words. I think a lot of them is just meant to bring you down.
What you mean?
All these action adverbs. I mean these adjectives. All these adjectives. I knew in high school, in middle school, when I was learning about adjectives, I knew them words was a mother sucker. Always got to use a word to describe something. Why? Why can't you just call the word what it is instead of using it to describe something? Because a lot of these descriptions don't fit me. So I always had a thing with adjectives. Like a lot of words is just create an energy that's not there. And so you can create this energy and make it there. Like healing. Oh, gosh. Before I got this intellectual person, okay, so I call myself going through a healing phase. Mm-hmm. And after I went through whatever I was doing and I didn't do it anymore, the thought of revisiting and healing, like I already did that. Once you go through something and you get through it, you're healed. Like that's it. It's healed.
Yeah.
Like the moment is over. There's no more healing you got to do. It's
To
it's
me, you're always
real.
in a state of healing in this world because you'll be
No.
thinking you're healed and then something else will happen to you and you're like, what the heck? Now I got to heal through this? Yup. We're always healing. Like it doesn't matter because you're always learning, you're always going through things in life, and you're always in a state of needing to heal from something. And so to me, healing never really ends when you think about it. Like, because you could lose somebody today and then heal through that, and then maybe you didn't lose somebody but somebody left your life, or you had to leave someone else's life. Now you got to heal through that. Just you could lose a job, you could have a job, you could, different things that you got to heal from. And so to me, you're always in a state of healing different things, and that's okay.
Once I was sick, I wasn't sick no more. Now I'm healed. And I'm not going back to that sickness because I'm healed. You
Right.
don't revisit healing if you're healed.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that you're forever meant to feel. You're meant to feel things. You're meant to have emotions. Now I'm seeing why people go within, do the Kundalini Houdalini, why people practice
You're
other
so
things,
cute.
trying to avoid
Kundalini, Kundalini.
feeling. Like people want to avoid feeling because I get it too. Like it can really get to you and it can make you feel so in such a way where you never want to have this feeling again.
But you got to go through it to get through it. It's just, yeah. You got to
It's a
feel.
part of life. It's a part of living. That's how
Yeah.
you know you're alive.
Yeah. And there will always be another thing that's going to happen that you feel like you need to heal from, but that's okay. And everything to me is
But why do you
perspective.
have to heal from it instead
No, no,
of
no. I'm talking about like different
enjoy
situations.
the life? It's life. Maybe I'm callous and cold.
No, no. What I'm saying
Maybe I'm
is,
just like my mother who told.
no, Chosen, I'm saying like
Maybe
you.
I'm just like my father. Wait,
That's
what was the mother? She's never satisfied.
I'm saying I'm saying you may heal from a sickness, but then you may go through something else. That's different from that. That's that you gotta go through that now. But it's all shaping you. The most high is always shaping you to be a better version of yourself. It's okay to go through things because you're going to be better for it. You're going to be a better soldier for the Most High. You're going to be a better version of yourself for the world and for what you got to go through. It's okay. People want to escape life, and you can't. You got to go through different things to make you a better version of yourself, or you're not alive.
Better? See, I'm gonna be careful. Like if I ever uh like how do you say the part of you wasn't better? Okay, you did this thing, but if it wasn't to grow from, then why I don't know. It's like how are you worse? That's the thing about life and learning and feeling. You can't feel if you don't have these things to make you feel and understand what. Yeah, because I don't think it's all about you. I think it's all about protruding that gift inside of you
Yeah,
that
a
the
better
Most High
version of
given.
yourself, a better version of yourself for your friends, for your family, for your partner, for your uh
But when was you not a better version of yourself?
it was
When
when
was
you
you
didn't have
never
the
better?
wisdom. You didn't have the wisdom of an experience to make you a better version of yourself. It's not like you were a bad person. You just had to go through wisdom of experience to be a better version of yourself.
All versions of me are great. Ain't no better version of me. Like I am who I am in the moment. Even if okay, yeah, I don't know. I guess a better version. Is to say that the last version of you was not good.
No, it's not to say you're not good. It's to say you're wiser now. So you've had an experience that's made you wiser, and now you're more understanding of other people. You could put yourself in their shoes because now you've had that experience. So you're a better version of yourself for being wiser so that you can either help someone get through something, or you can be understanding at least of other people going through things, and you could be a better version of yourself to be a better helper for the people in your life and for yourself. um and so yeah, it's not that you were bad before or something was wrong with you. You just didn't have the wisdom that you had today, and that makes you better. You're wiser.
I think it's just to carry out the purpose of the Most High, because this is
Definitely.
system is a wicked system. Everything in it is designed to fight against you. So you're given this meat suit to be that light and that peace and that person. And so the things that you experience are because you refuse that meat suit. Like you go against who you are in your spirit and try to fight it. Some people just rock it out. It's very few of those. I think that's how you can come up with like an anointed one and give somebody that anointing,
Hmm.
because they just are that being. Like they didn't have to, excuse me,
But that being
discover.
became that being from all their experiences. Even if they were always a wonderful being, they had experiences that made them just a little bit better, and that's because they've experienced something that can make them able to understand other people, to help other people, and be used by the Most High. Like, if you've experienced homelessness, you may have a soft spot in your heart for other people going through that. You may be more apt to do charity work, or to give back to the homeless in ways that other people won't, because you're more understanding of that situation. If
Or
you've
you learn
ever
to become homeless again and not be like that.
or
No.
like, say that you've never experienced hunger, like you've never had nothing to eat. You're very apt to want to help people that are experiencing hunger now. You're a better version of yourself to, because you've been through hunger, and it seems like it's a bad thing, but no, it shaped you to be more understanding of other people that are going through that. You may help people, give back more. You may feed the homeless. You may give money. Whatever you do, you're just more understanding. Uh oh. Chosen dropped.
Hyper nigga said that
Yeah, I'm here.
attractive.
What's up?
Talk, but this
Were you
information.
listening to us?
Yeah, I'm listening, but I got an anger man problem. He just pulled up.
Oh no.
Yeah. Hold on. The anger man's pretty upset right now.
What's going on?
Yeah, what about that part? Nigga, you cheated for Capone.
Oh
That
Lord.
old long ass dried out shit. Nigga, you didn't win that debate for real. What the fuck you?
Oh my gosh. What in the world? We're over here all peaceful, talking about life lessons, and angry man is going on. Oh gosh. Let Chosen, let him feel it. Let him get through it. Let him get it out.
Yeah, that's
It's
what you gotta
crazy
do.
what people let make them jump out of their spirit. Like, what in the world? Some things just get to you, I guess. Some people just, I think it is a choice though. Sometimes people just want to be angry and just mad. And some people just like peace. I don't know. I need my peace. I don't have time for it. I mean, calm yourself. You may need to go out and look at the stars. Now I'm kind of curious. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh
We got
goodness.
20 more minutes.
20 minutes of what?
Of airtime.
Oh, we're supposed to be up here for almost 3 hours.
No, you don't have to. It's just I'm just saying. That's the time you run out and want to find out what's going on.
Oh, for real. I'm kind of curious. Fire's gonna make us jump over there just to find out. Just the cat curiosity killed the cat.
Oh boy, you gotta feel something. People want to feel. You gotta feel in this world.
Chosen. I don't know. That was a little too much feeling.
Yeah, some things make people, feel more than others. Like it don't take a lot to make me feel. I feel everything.
You're an
Yeah.
empath. You're like me. You're an empath.
Excuse me.
I don't know. Being an empath has made me really connected to myself, but other people's emotions too. And I just really feel for people when they go through stuff. I feel it with them. Like when somebody's hurt, oh man, I hurt with them. When somebody's passionate, I'm passionate with them. I'm like, okay, let's go.
When you feel like every little thing, sometimes it takes something big to make you, feel something. So others takes, different things. Like you be like, no, I would never, like skydiving and bungee jumping.
Secretly, I really want to skydive. Not bungee jump because you cannot pay me to put me on no damn rubber band. I'm sorry. But I ain't trusting my life with a rubber band, but skydiving, you know what my brother did for his, you know how like people will have like a bachelor party before they get married? My brother's was skydiving with his best friends. He did that right before he got married. He said he wouldn't do it now because he has kids, but when he didn't have kids, when he was getting married, he did the whole skydiving thing. I would do it once, just to say I did it. Seeing the world from that perspective. Would you do it? Skydive?
Um,
Skydive?
I would. I probably would.
Yeah, I want to do it. In a really beautiful area.
No. I just not running to go jump out of plane, but
If I got the chance, I
I'll
would. I
think,
mean, I wouldn't go
yeah.
out of my way, like you said, but if I got the chance, I'd do it. I want to experience the world, though. Like, there's not too much I wouldn't do when it comes to like going to a new country or having a new experience. I'll do it.
Said good. Buy you a Mexican outfit and make you some tacos. Put on
Wait,
you some
what?
Mexican music and start dancing and do the cha-cha. You be feeling like you right in Mexico.
I'm hollering. Shoot. I'm always in here
Buy you
dancing for no reason.
a little ruffled dress.
I'm always in here dancing for no reason. My dog is always looking at me crazy, like, Mom, why are you up dancing at 6 in the morning? Because I'm alive.
Put on, do the mamba.
I'm going to sing. I'm going to dance. I'm alive.
Living in the fast lane, you rarely get to feel. A lot of people out here numb.
Facts.
And when it finally wear off, then it's like, bam, shock. They feeling hit them head on. And so a lot of people not prepared and they crash out and burn because they never been through the wilderness.
Yep.
You never been through a moment of isolation and where you really just gave your dependency over to the Most High.
Right.
Versus at the first sign of, hunger or doubt, you run to comfort. I do that with cigarettes. Like, I don't allow myself to go through the wilderness. I'll grab a cigarette real quick.
And that's a
So I'm
comfort
about
thing.
to try.
Like, I used to be that way about bud, but I'm not that way. I haven't smoked in like a year now, or a little bit over. But I used to be that way about bud. Something happened. I'm like, where is it? No. It's important to feel, like you said, and not just find something to cover it up.
So I'm about to try this test of the mental and create that thought in my mind so that it can become an action and see if I can go through this time that I'm a call the wilderness. And see if I can go because I would like to stop at this moment. I would really love to stop while I'm 40, while I'm still in my 40s. So
With
that I can
cigarettes?
yeah. I'm bored with them. It's just a habit. It's just a habit. It's nothing really fulfilling. It's just a simple habit, repetitive, nothing to replace it with.
Well, it's just breathing, hun. It's just deep breathing. That's what you get addicted to with cigarettes, is that relaxation of deep breathing. So for you, I would suggest you find some deep breathing exercises you could do and transition yourself from every time you want a cigarette to doing those deep breathing exercises for a few minutes and see if it makes a difference. And I'm talking about before you quit.
Now
Start
I'm
doing it.
gonna create the thought of see if I can rely on the Most High versus a cigarette. I want to feel what that feels like because I've been smoking for a long time, and so
Uh-huh.
things are at its appropriate time, and I probably had this book for a good while now, and just reading that little part makes me excited to want to rely on the Most High versus grabbing a vice. And I want to see what that feels like so I can actually,
Yep.
um, talk about that and tell how I actually got through it and what it feels like.
There you go. You'll be a wiser teacher for it.
Excuse me. Oh boy.
You did it at the same time I did. That's funny. Fire, you good?
All learned and the skillsmen were taken out of the land. And all those that wasn't learned and skillsmen, they stayed. That's our creator, infinite power on keeping us still in the land. Even when the skilled and the wise men was taken out. So now when you ask, where we at? We still in the land. Now you can respond.
All right. Okay. So I heard all of that. So even without a book, we got these people that you never definitively said when after all the times, because there was multiple times. You had these same people that killed prophets. You had the same people that said that they couldn't honor their brother, right? They couldn't even honor their brother. One of God's golden cardinal rules was to love that brother like you love thyself. Honor that brother like that couldn't even be accomplished. So this is something else I want to point to since I have this allotted time. Inside of the United States right now, DNA-wise, there's a 3.4% of black men, the thing that they call black men with Jewish blood. How could that be? So if you want to analyze that you got these Jews and then you got black people that's trying to act like Jews inside of the whole network of how we had Ben, Dr. Ben. He was a Volosian Jew, right? But the people didn't let him inside. He was a Jew, but the thing that he practiced wasn't the same thing that they practiced inside. He didn't use the Talmud. Dr. Ben didn't know, he didn't fuck with the Talmud, even though that he was called a Jew. So you had these Jews that other people said that had to definitively make themselves known inside of history. We know this. Why lie? Because Domini don't mean after the death of Christ. So we have an artificial timeline. Then we have people injecting things that don't even belong on this timeline. And even if you had a crucifixion of a thing called Jesus the Christ in Rome, which was never accomplished because Jesus the Christ was not his name. So you're defending but people defend. If you're a Jew, you don't even, yo, Mashiach ain't even here. Yo, Mashiach, this is a vital teacher. If you're a Jew, you say that there is no atonement for sin. You say your example, because of who you are and your fucking bloodline, makes you better than everybody. So by your blood and this fake setting being imagined that it was greater, right? There is no Jesus for you. So New Testament, all you niggas run from the New Testament, right? If you calling yourself a Jew, Jesus is not nowhere in the fucking equation. Let's not fucking play. Now you go ahead, right? And you could Google it right now. If you talk about these niggas over here, it's Jews. It's only a 3.4% ratio of people, and that just got moved up. It was 2.6 for the longest. You can even Google to see if that's a lie. So these niggas is not them niggas that you're talking about. How you gonna prove it?
Tell me again when I can go on and then start back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell me again I can go on and start
I'm
back
at
up.
the conclusion. I'm at the conclusion already.
Go on already.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought you was at the conclusion. I thought you told me to go ahead already. You started back up. You keep on singing the same song. It's the same song. You went through all that to sing the same old song, all around the world, the same song. Listen, you just once again, you already know that I stand with the Old Testament only. That's it. But you keep bringing the New Testament in. But let's deal with it. The New Testament states that the Messiah came. They just don't hold on to the fact is that he lost. He died just like me. So, deal with me. Our scriptures say that we're going to have many prophets, but it gives us at the end a prince that's going to hold down our nation. That's what our scriptures teach. I don't know what you've been reading, you know, and our prince and king, he's going to do miraculous things. The first thing he's going to do is he's going to eliminate all those that try to eliminate Israel. He's going to get rid of all of them. Either about with their words, with all that. He's going to stand up for Israel. Right? That's the first thing he's going to do. He's going to stand up for Israel. And he's going to get rid of all the reproaches. That's what our Mashiach going to do. He also is saying that they're going to turn all these swords into plowshares and these spears into pruning. And they're not going to learn war. So that's what our Mashiach going to do. And you know, also made sure that all Israel was ushered back to the land, not just part of Israel. When you're trying to say, well, these people over here and they this, that, and other, and you only have a partial. He said, wherever we sprinkle, wherever we at, Israel, the little small part, the little two of them, or whatever, he's going to bring them back to the whole Israel. If you think that you're just talking about one people that's dead, maybe they is Israel, maybe they're not. But our Creator tells us that Israel's coming back to the land. And you know something else he told us? He always left some there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was interested. I was listening. You there, Chosen?
Yeah, I'm here.
I was interested.
What was that, a debate?
Mm-hmm. Them over there talking on the other planet.
Let me see. Hold on.
They don't want me to pull up. Dang, it's already 12 o'clock.
Okay, so tomorrow morning, do you want to meet here tomorrow morning for um another well, we'll do coffee and conversation in the morning. Have a little mellow music, Can you cam up?
Yeah, I can camo.
Cause I want to make it like like we're on a little show, and it's our the little new whatever kind of show, and we like The View.
I love The View. Fire, can you bring Chosen back up?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Anger man,
What about that book? What about that record? It ain't a book. It's a record.
I'm about ready to wrap it up here, Fire. If you
Oh yeah, those down. I think she might be gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I sure do appreciate it.
Of course. I might come over to the other planet.
Oh yeah, do that.
Okay.
All
See you in a minute.
Oh, yeah.